Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. Quite some interesting news today. To start things off, CFTC chairman, his name is Heath Tarbert, has said Ether, the world's second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, is a commodity. Speaking at the Yahoo Finance All Market Summit on Thursday, Tarbert said he believes Ether is not a security. He said, "We've been very clear on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a commodity. We haven't said anything about Ether until now. It is my view as chairman of the CFTC that Ether is a commodity," end quote. Tarbert continued to say the CFTC is working with the SEC on two cryptocurrencies and have agreed both are not securities. Going forward, the CFTC may allow Ether futures to trade on U.S. markets, he suggested. Hold on one second. Tarbert continued to say that the CFTC is working with the SEC on two terms. Interesting. The way that this is worded right here, for those of you who are not looking at the screen, the thing I just reread, it says, Tarbert continued to say that the CFTC is working with the SEC on two cryptocurrencies and have agreed both are not securities. I don't know if that means they worked together on Bitcoin and Ether and have deemed both to not be securities. The way that this is written, it seems like they are working on two additional currently, as they have worked on Bitcoin and Ether. They are currently working on two other cryptocurrencies and have agreed that both these are also not securities, and maybe they also will reveal news relatively soon. That's speculation on my part, the way that that's worded. Anyway, in May, senior CFTC official told CoinDesk the agency was ready to approve an Ethereum's futures contract if it met the correct conditions. I guess the major news story is that we had no exact clarity. The people who had given us information before, especially at the beginning of this year and the end of 2018, were people from the SEC who said that they personally, it wasn't a blanket issue, that they personally believed that that Ether was not a security. And then a day later, there was always somebody who came forward and said what they said does not comply with what we think, or what exactly may be the official legal term. Sorry if you hear that outside. It's people, I think they're cutting down a tree. I have no idea what it is. For some reason, they think it's appropriate to start work at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, the point being, we now have clarity that the CFTC and the SEC have worked together to figure out that Ether is not a security and is indeed a commodity. The most important or interesting fact is that they said that they're also waiting on, or could potentially be approving, Ether futures next, which I think is something that the market didn't think was going to happen. The entire issue, or rather the main discussion that we normally always have around the cryptocurrency market is what is Bitcoin doing? What's going to happen with Bitcoin? Exactly what's going to be built on top of Bitcoin? So I think Ether futures would, that's an entirely different discussion in itself. A lot of people don't like futures. Sometimes, or rather, we've seen before in the past that it could be a potential for price manipulation. Anyway, is not a security. Let's move on. In unsurprising news, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg will defend Libra, his project, before U.S. lawmakers later on this month. The House Financial Services Committee announced on Wednesday that Zuckerberg will testify on the 23rd of October during a hearing titled "An Examination of Facebook and Its Impact on the Financial Services and Housing Sectors." Zuckerberg will be the only witness. Oh my gosh, that means it's going to be amazing. While details were sparse, housing sectors? Really? While details were sparse, Wednesday's press release noted that committee chairman Maxine Waters has drafted the Keep Big Tech Out of Finance Act. Previously, Waters had called for Facebook to halt development of Libra until lawmakers' concerns were addressed. The draft legislation prohibits large platforms, utilities like Facebook, from being chartered, licensed, or registered as a U.S. financial institution, adding, the bill also prohibits large platform utilities from establishing, maintaining, or operating a digital asset that is intended to be widely used as a medium of exchange, unit of account, store of value, or any other similar function as defined by the Federal Reserve. So pretty much we don't want anything on our country that looks like the US dollar. The point being, what was my point? I think it's going to be good. Any other time that Zuckerberg has had to testify before Congress or the Senate or anything like that, it's always a lot of memes end up being developed from it. I feel like a lot of this is, if I can use the term like smoke and mirrors, if that kind of makes any sense. There's no real reason, in my opinion, to have this be a public filmed thing. These discussions can happen in private. I'm pretty sure they already have. Usually, if you've never noticed this, whenever politicians, rich people are reading stuff, or when they're talking to someone on the Senate, someone important, and like it's being filmed, it's always like they have like a testimony prepared. They have a piece of paper, so we know exactly what they're going to say. Like it's all just a show, if you kind of want to say that. They can have these discussions by themselves. I feel like they say that they do these things to have them so the public can see them. We don't really need to see like what's going on behind the scenes. Like we ourselves have no direct influence if Facebook is going to be launching Libra. This falls solely on the arms of politicians. Anyway, this is going to happen. I'm probably going to watch it. I think it'll be interesting to look at, if nothing else. Anyway, that's going to happen on the 23rd. Let's move on. In a weird series of events, Binance has reopened its community coin program, promising a monthly competition with completely new rules. The most recent projects presented come with a prize for active voters. Binance has agreed to revive its community coin of the month or on overwhelming social media demand. For those of you who have no idea what this is, I believe it was earlier. No, it was definitely 2018. It had to be 2018. Where pretty much people within the cryptocurrency community could vote for new coins. But this is also a time where Binance maybe had about 8 coins, 13 coins, somewhere around there. It was a very big thing to say, I want my coin on this, and I'll tell you exactly why. Here's the tweet for it. It's a really weird, a whole bunch of hashtags and stuff on there. The two assets, air quotes, facing off are NKN and VIDI. With the vote ending on the 11th of October, which is today, whichever coin wins, Binance will distribute a reward of 7,000 Binance coin to its backers, along with pools of either NKN or VIDI. The voting is open to those that held BNB balances on the exchange, similar to the participation of the IEOs on Binance's launchpad. The minimum Binance balance is 50 coins, though holders of above 500 Binance coin are limited to a weight of 10 votes, which isn't, I mean, that's actually quite fair, because before other platforms were having, so if you wanted to vote on their platform, the more coins you had, the heavier your vote. So if you're rich, you get exactly what you want. So limited, I mean, 10 votes is still a lot, but it's better than someone having 7,500 votes, putting it that way. Binance has also started adding new coins after a recent round of purging inactive trading pairs. Binance US recently added two coins, Chainlink and Ravencoin. So I like Binance. I like what they do. I just may not always agree with everything that they might potentially be doing at a certain amount of time. I feel like myself, the coins that we already have on the market are too many. I think people should realistically be only paying attention to 3 coins, or semi-realistically, maybe around 20. That's the Cardanos, that's the Trons, that's the IOTAs, that's the fourth coin. You know exactly what coins I'm talking about. The coins that we hear about on a much dailier basis, who we know are actually being used and stuff like that. I feel like this is only going to cause another explosion of coins that we don't need. They should continue delisting coins, but the part of the problem is that these platforms, I don't think they do it maliciously. One, it's for the money. And also, but I mean, on the other side, there's so many people who end up, whenever with the cryptocurrency prices end up rushing up, we have a wave of new people who get into the market. And part of the problem is that every single time we have a run up, people throw themselves into the market. They see the price of Bitcoin and they go, ooh, far too expensive. And then they go, well, that looks a bit more attractive. And they go to Ether, and then they go, well, XRP is only, 23, 24, 25, whatever cents. And then they go, but that coin number 580, that coin's less than a cent. It's definitely going to go up to $5. I'm going to become super rich when that coin goes up. And then we have this cycle once again of the prices going up, and then the prices coming down, and then people who've put their, I'm not saying any particular coins, people who've put their coins or money into a coin, and then the coin starts going down to 0, and then they end up being they don't like the cryptocurrency space anymore. This was a very big thing in 2017 and 2018. A lot of people felt that they got burned by the market, and it was because they were putting their money into coins that should have never existed in the first place. So while I like, especially on things that are supposed to be decentralized, being able to vote as a community on new things that are going to be listed, what have you. However, I think we're good on new coins. And without further ado, let's move on. Here's a fascinating one. TRON and the Stellar Development Foundation are part of a new alliance that will provide university students with a working knowledge about blockchain technology. In a new news report release shared with Cointelegraph yesterday, it was announced that the top crypto projects TRON and Stellar will work together to form a new educational alliance that will provide university students with the connections and knowledge needed to successfully enter the blockchain industry workforce. To be fair, this is actually kind of nice. I may have my reservations around certain coins, but this is actually quite nice. I've had a number of people ask me multiple times before, I guess maybe more so, but maybe about a year ago, asking me how to get more into the cryptocurrency space. They want to be more active. They want to become developers. They want to be able to build on top of this and know what that is. They want to know how blockchain works out. This is actually kind of nice. I won't fault them for this. TRON and Stellar, together with 11 other members of the Blockchain Education Alliance, will jointly develop and fund a number of educational initiatives to bring blockchain technology to the masses. The new alliance is spearheaded by blockchain accelerator Mousebelt, which intends to build a new network of industry leaders to bring blockchain technology to the forefront through education and research. And I guess the more interesting part is the other founding members are, it's Stellar, TRON, Hedera, Icon, Ontology, OneChain, Harmony One, Nervos, Orbs, LTO Network, Emergo. I think those are the people behind Cardano, I think. NEM and Ethereum Classic Labs. Cool. I don't think there's any link. Nope, there's no link to it, which I always think is kind of weird whenever there's an announcement about something like this. Maybe you can even find it on Twitter, possibly. I think it's kind of cool. I like things like this. I hope, HOPE, that this is free. Heaven forbid should they have made an alliance where they're going to be teaching people and it costs a lot of money, because there are definitely free websites where you can learn how to code. And what is that other one? This is not paid advertisement, I promise you. It's called Coursera, I believe it is, where you can take free classes from Harvard, Brown, all these other universities completely for free. And at the end of it, you get a little certificate when you're done with the class. You can also learn how to code on there as well, I'm pretty sure. So this is cool. Getting back to the topic. Glad that this happened, ? I thought it was kind of interesting. Now, don't scream at me for this. I thought it was fascinating that coins that we don't typically hear about a lot, or kind of aren't always as popular as Bitcoin. That's a nice way of saying it. Kind of merged together in this alliance. So good for them. I hope they do well. Yeah, let's move on. Next up, the founders of Lending Protocol. This is going to sound very familiar. Of Lending Protocol, Nuo, are launching a Neo bank to attract more retail users. Those are everyday normal people. Varun Deshpande and Retnesh Ray and Siddharth Verma, cool names, who launched the Nuo protocol in 2018, are now launching a new digital banking platform called Juno. Here we go. Juno will be built on top of, you guessed it, Ethereum, rely on the Nuo protocol, and is expected to launch in either February or March of 2020. The other part that's going to sound incredibly familiar. The startup's flagship product will allow users to hold the dollar-pegged USDC stablecoin and earn a 5.5% annual interest rate. Juno wallets will have no fees, that's good, and Venmo-style peer-to-peer payment option, Deshpande added. First, I don't know what's happening. I'm really not sure, and I'm trying to really piece it all together, and I assume we'll see something relatively soon. why the market, or why everything that everything that we've had the last couple of weeks that's being spoken about, as opposed to being their own thing or something that's being built on top of something, it's always been on top of Ethereum. It's always partnered with Ethereum. Ethereum is always in the news, and it's always some type of a payment option facility banking type thing that's happening on top of the Ethereum network. That's one thing to the side. The second part is every single company as well, Binance, Juno, Coinbase, I think BitMEX also did it, and like 3 other cryptocurrency exchanges as well are also all now launching some type of an annual percentage rate reward interest on your account for holding cryptocurrencies. I'm not sure if it's just everyone simply mimicking everyone else, saying, oh, they have a really good idea, let's do the exact same thing. But I feel like the market is gearing up for something. Typically, what we've seen before in the past is that major companies, I'm not sure how large this company is, but larger companies within the cryptocurrency space launch products. And about 8-9 months later, we get news that they knew that something was going to take place, and therefore they were just trying to take advantage of the opportunity, if you will. I feel like something behind the scenes is brewing that we just may not be completely aware of, because everyone's doing the exact same thing. They're all launching on top of this. May also be the reason why I don't know if these companies, maybe wait, hold on, if the companies dealing with Ethereum were probably in contact with the CFTC or the SEC regarding information of, are the coins that we're listing on our platform securities, they may have been involved with the CFTC or SEC and may have heard beforehand, before we just did, that Ether was indeed not a security and is a commodity, and therefore this is why so many people have been building on it. That's all I can kind of think of at the moment, because Ethereum was really at the back of the truck. No one was talking about Ethereum. Nobody was touching Ether. As much as I like the project, you definitely remember there was like a very huge dry period. And all of a sudden, about 3 weeks ago, everyone is exclusively building on top of Ethereum, which, to be fair, we know that even with Cardano without Shelly, Cardano's faster, TRON is faster, EOS is faster, even, is Litecoin faster? Anyway, yeah, Litecoin is also faster than Ether. The point being, no one's building on top of those, but everyone's building on top of Ethereum. And the other point is, I mean, at least it'll be nice to live in a world where you can get interest on your money at 5.5% as opposed to 0.1%, even less where it currently is right now. Anyway, that's the Ethereum interest rate news. It's really crazy. Like I see some of the articles and I look through them and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I just read this, and I'm like, nope, this is it. I have to like go through the other articles and things that I did, and I'm like, no, this is also definitely brand new. Anyway, let's move on. The South Korean arm of cryptocurrency exchange OKEx has halted, or now at least, the delisting of 2 privacy coins due to regulatory pressure from the Financial Action Task Force. According to the notice from the exchange on Thursday, the planned suspension of both Zcash and Dash support has been put under review. For those of you who do not know, first of all, what is a super Bitcoin? Don't buy that. The point being, we saw a number of cryptocurrency exchanges a couple of weeks ago announcing that they were going to be listing coins that had private transactions enacted on the blockchain because the FATF, the Financial Action Task Force, had told them to do so. Apparently, OKEx, I think this is the largest exchange in South Korea, will apparently maybe not be delisting them. I don't think these have... It's Zcash. No, yeah, Zcash has the shielded and unshielded transactions, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know that much about Dash. I'm not really sure. But as long as you can unshield them, it should be fine. But I guess we'll see further review about this happening. It's the whole cryptocurrency space is so completely odd. And I always wonder what the discussions are happening behind the scenes to let people know that, because that's a very big thing. Think about it. If the people who are making the financial decisions for the entire world tell you to do something, and then all of a sudden you go, yeah, we're going to review it. That lets me know or believe that they've been in contact with the FATF and they were like, they've either figured out a way to track these coins, or they're like, you can have them on there as long as you don't have the transaction addresses shielded. Because why would the people who are making financial decisions, like think about that. Every cryptocurrency exchange around the planet no matter where they are, has to comply with the Financial Action Task Force rules. Why would this exchange then go, we're going to think about it? No, that's not how this works. You would be fined into oblivion, which leads, I don't know, how fascinating would that be if dare I say, Chainalysis figured out a way to track down some of these coins. Yeah. Moving on. Binance has apparently added officially, that's not a word, officially added the XRP stablecoin to the Binance decentralized exchange. It's going to be called XRP BF2. Sure, it's going to be pegged directly one-to-one to XRP, and they said that thus far they have minted 10 million XRP BF2, which lets us then know that they have on a one-to-one basis, as they're all backed by XRP, that Binance is holding at least 10 million XRP at the moment, which is fascinating. And I wonder if they're going to be, I assume if this is a hit, if people are using it, that they will definitely be issuing more, which means that they would then have to accumulate more XRP. I still personally think a lot of these cryptocurrency exchanges, and even think more logically, how rich these people are getting from their crypto exchanges. If Binance, the company, is holding or custodying 10 million XRP to be able to have the actual stablecoin, I would assume the actual company itself probably has around 100 million XRP, just logically thinking. I always wonder exactly how many cryptocurrency exchange owners themselves hold. It's probably unlikely that Changpeng Zhao is holding around 48 XRP. It's even unlikely that he's holding around just 20,000. I always wonder what these numbers are. Like, especially like the guy from the CEO of Coinbase, who like when he used to go, like last year, for those of you who weren't here, he used to go really hard for Ethereum. Like he thought Ethereum was going to take over Bitcoin last year, which leads me to believe I don't think he has 1,000 Ether. I don't think he even has 10,000 Ether. I think it's a very large number that he has currently. Anyway, Binance has officially added the XRP pegged token to their platform, and I assume, as always, within the next 3 to 4 months, if it does well, we'll really hear about it. You know, oh yeah, it's great, cool, amazing, we're gonna add more. If it's not doing well, we will definitely be having a portion of some video where we're like, Binance is delisting the XRP pegged token. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it'll be pretty popular. What would be really weird is if they start offering interest on that coin. That would be something. Anyway, let's move on. I guess to kind of finish things off, I found this one actually quite fascinating. One of the heads of Grayscale. Grayscale is the company who owns at least 1% of all Bitcoin, which is a lot of Bitcoin. Apparently there was a discussion somewhere around, without having to read through the entire thing, and he said, I'll read it. They said, there's this rhetoric in the media about when are institutional investors going to get involved? When are they going to start investing? And it's so funny because it's ironic. We see institutional investors invest with us all the time, and that's been the case for a long time now. The constant discussion, keep this all in mind. The constant discussion has been since the end of 2016. Even I didn't believe it or want to hear about it. Is that very rich people would soon enter the market. They would buy up all the cryptocurrencies. There would be none left for us, and we'd be sitting there like, oh my gosh, I wish I had more crypto. 2017 came, the prices went up. Everyone was like, was this institutions? Nope, it was retail investors. It was everyday normal people who put their money into the market. The market fell back down. Oh, institutions, they're never going to come in. Where are the institutions? No institutions are here. 2019. Prices started slowly rising. Oh my gosh, institutions are never going to get in. If you notice throughout the news, throughout 2018 especially, by the end of 2018, I was already convinced. It took me about a good year and a half. I was convinced. When the New York Stock Exchange came forward and said that they had been into cryptocurrencies for the last 4 years, that means since 2014, from that time, when prices were nowhere near where they were, that they had been accumulating cryptocurrencies in mass. And they said even more so, during the course of 2018, as prices were going down, they were also collecting. And I said, And then we had news that the Rockefeller family was into it, and that NASDAQ was into it, and then the German Stock Exchange was into it, and all these other people. I still think there's not a lot of cryptocurrency left out there actively circulating. This will only be proven, in my opinion, once Bitcoin floats back over 20,000 and the new frenzy starts once again in the market. However, if you logically think about it, the amount of companies who we know are holding tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, they have said before, they're holding that much and they plan on buying more. If they have heavy pockets, one can only assume that other rich people around the world are probably, and if you think of it in a really logical way, are probably buying 10 Bitcoin a month. Pretty sure there's some people who are buying a Bitcoin a day. Anyway, I always like confirmation. I like to hear that this is happening. Thank you, people from Grayscale, for letting us know that rich people have been in crypto for a very long time. And the institutions that we've been waiting for have simply just been buying over the counter, which is more logical. They're definitely trying to make sure that they get in as low as possible. Because once again, if you can buy anything for $8,000, and you have some type of a mathematical indication that it could go up to $1 million, and you can own 10 of them, if not tens of thousands of them. Think about how rich these people are going to be. It boggles the mind. Anyway, as always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple M and J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Mill Wheezy, Mechanic, Strange, Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Cold D, 3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas, Runner with One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich, The Third, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch, Chest Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto and Bodie McBoatface. Thank you all very, very much for your support. At the moment, the market makes no sense. Almost directly after the news that Ethereum is officially not a security and is a commodity, Ether's price dropped. I'm not sure if that's because Bitcoin's price dropped, but the market is red-ish. It could be worse. It could always be worse, especially even right now as we see, oh gosh, this makes no sense. Some coins are looking like they're trying to spike up, but Tether's also spiking up even further, which means that the market is going to be selling off or has already sold off. I think Bitcoin hit 86 or 8,700 about a good 8 hours ago. Something caused a sell-off. Don't be surprised if it's the end of a CBOE futures contract, as we've seen before Bitcoin's price goes down. The good news is that typically Bitcoin's price also goes up by a bit whenever the futures contracts are starting once again. Nothing too significant. Chainlink is up. A lot of other coins are down. Nothing really incredible. Nope. Anyway, but that $300,000 24-hour volume. Wow. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be.